Thousands come for the thrill. Lights, screams, monsters hiding in every corner. But in the crowd of masks and makeup, one face isn't painted. He doesn't need a script. He doesn't need permission. Because tonight, at Hellfest, the scares aren't fake anymore.
Before we begin, a quick warning. Opening Kill is a horror podcast that contains adult language, disturbing themes, and graphic descriptions of violent acts, especially the kills featured in each film. We also dive deep into plot details and character arcs. So if you haven't seen the movie we're covering, expect full spoilers ahead. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
Opening Kill, the horror podcast that slices deep into the genre we love. We're talking slashers, supernatural nightmares, creature features, and everything in between. Every episode, we break down a different horror film. From its killer cold open to its blood-soaked finale, we track the body count, analyze the scares, and give credit where it's gruesomely due. From iconic franchises to hidden gems, you'll find them all here. Hosted by filmmaker and horror scholar Brian O'Connor and Michael Duran, lifelong genre fan and scream scene specialist. So sharpen your knives, turn off the lights, and let's get into it. This is Opening Kill.
And welcome to episode 37 of Opening Kill, Hellfest from 2018. I'm Brian O'Connor.
And I am Michael Duran. Glad to be back.
Yes, welcome back. You were out with food poisoning last week.
It was not pretty. Let me tell you what. I'll spare the graphic descriptions, but I was fighting for my life.
Yeah, it's never a pretty thing. So totally understand. Well, welcome to the podcast where we dive deep into the world of horror. And if you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations, you found us. If you're watching this on Spotify, that means we're back on Spotify. We're having a little bit of an issue at the moment where they flagged us for what they think is licensed material that we don't have the rights to as far as music and whatever else, which is completely not correct. So we're appealing, and they're keeping us off Spotify until they settle this, which we're hoping will be, anytime now. That's the goal.
I mean,
that's the hope.
It should be, because we're doing everything right.
Yes.
We're a legit operation here.
We've paid a lot of money for the rights to the music and sound effects and everything else for this podcast. So it's just a quirky little thing. I'm sure it'll get resolved here pretty soon. But anyway, in the meantime, you can find us on YouTube, and our audio is out there on other platforms as well. So did you see anything interesting over the last week when you were down with food poisoning?
Yeah, I watched the movie. It's a recent one, Shudder original. It's called Night of the Reaper. It's like a 80s style little slasher. It's got a little twists along the way. It's fine. I enjoyed myself. I think the twist was like a little bit much, where you're like, okay, I have to suspend my disbelief a little bit extra here, which normally it's not a big deal, but it was fine. It was fine though. It's still solid. Check it out for sure. It's got that great little Halloween feel. So, Night of the Reaper on Shudder.
Night of the Reaper. Very cool. I didn't see anything. I was too busy fighting with Spotify, so it's been kind of a week. And just
well, then I can do a second one.
Yeah, please do. If you have another one
too.
Okay, so tell me what you thought.
I mean, it's not good. It's I don't know why we like the third one has to have something that's like mind blowing, because otherwise I don't know why we're doing this and stretching it into 3 movies, because this felt like nothing but just filler to the point where they didn't have anything else. So they threw a fucking boar into the mix. And
so that is what I told you. I remember texting you after I saw it, and I said, you're never going to believe what's in the middle of this movie. And there it is, the wild boar scene, which
looks awful.
Okay, my biggest problem with that is when it's standing on her back and then it just wanders off and she's able to get up like nothing happened. I'm sorry.
No,
No.
no, boars are nasty little shits. They will fuck you up. So yeah, no, it was so stupid. I think I gave it
You
like
don't
2 stars. I
Oh,
don't
you gave it that
recommend.
many.
Yeah, I mean, that's generous, but I guess I'm holding on that there's gonna be something worthwhile to this series. But golly, it
Well,
was a rough one.
what's interesting is this is kind of how that final Halloween trilogy went. The first one was good, the second one was bad, and then the third one wasn't
Even
fantastic.
worse.
Yeah, but that's kind of the same thing. So I'm hoping that Strangers breaks that and they actually come back with a really good third movie. That would
Yeah, and
be,
like, because like the first
yeah,
one wasn't like great to me. It was fine. Like I didn't think it
right.
was as bad as everyone else was saying, but this one is as bad as everyone is saying. So you can listen to the
Yes, it
group on that
is.
one.
All right. Well, this week we are going to dive into the world of Hellfest, which is a pretty cool little movie.
Yeah, fun little
And
slasher.
yeah, not a bad slasher at all. So, give you just the facts. It was directed by Gregory Plotkin, screenplay by Seth Sherwood, Blair Butler, and Akilah Cooper. Stars Amy Forsyth, Rain Edwards, Bex Taylor Klaus, Christian James, Matt Mercurio, Robbie Attal, and the late great Tony Todd, whose voice is everywhere in
Yes,
this. And then
R.I.P.
he has a cameo,
Yep.
a little bit towards the past the midway point of the movie. This was made on a budget of $5.5 million, made over 18 million, so it did well after its release September 28th, 2018, has a runtime of 89 minutes. So
Nice.
off and
Yeah.
running with this movie. I love buddy movies like this, and
Yeah.
this is certainly one of those. It starts out with a flashback, actually, a few years previous to where the movie actually starts. And it's a girl at this haunted attraction called Hellfest. And she's in one of the maze rooms. And she's been
Yep.
followed by this killer who is referred to as the Other. And he's got this creepy mask.
Tony Gardner, who is the designer of the ghost face mask from Scream. He also did the baby face mask from Happy Death Day. Yeah, he is the guy who created the main mask of the Other.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
very effective mask. It's
Yeah.
creepy.
I like it. I
For
think it's
sure.
fun. It's a little bit, it's simple, but it's effective.
So this guy, the Other, had been following this girl around the park and
Humming a little tune.
yeah, Pop Goes the Weasel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she gets
I
into
think
this
that's a fun
maze.
touch.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's
And
like
it's a
whenever it's like
trademark thing.
yeah, like whenever a killer or someone bad's doing something that's like somewhat childlike, I think that adds a extra eeriness to the whole situation.
Totally.
Yeah. Now Pop Goes the
Totally.
Weasel. Who'd
Yep.
have thought?
Yeah.
He's
Who would have
scary.
thought? So she ends up in one of the maze rooms and she dies. He stabs her. And then
Yeah.
you just see her a few minutes later. It cuts to her legs just dropping in through the top of the frame as she's being hung.
The opening kill.
And that happens about 4 minutes in.
And I kind of like it because it's like it's cut in between the credits. So like stuff will be happening and then like some more credits will start rolling. Goes back
Right.
to him killing her. And I, for one, we've been forgetting to do this, but I'm gonna give this our butcher knife for the opening kill. It's not the most graphic, but I think the image of her just being strung up in the haunted house is solid and effective, and
Mm-hmm.
I really dug it. So it's getting the butcher knife from me.
It's a butter knife for me.
Okay.
It's okay. I mean, I've seen worse, but
Definitely worse
yeah,
out there.
definitely worse. But I give it a butter knife. So that is where we stand with that.
And
But
like the The creepiness of this too is like her body isn't found until like days later because everyone's just
Yep.
thinking she's a part of the decor.
Right.
I think a character later mentions it's until she started smelling that they
Yeah.
realized something was afoot. So
Yeah, totally. So then we flash forward to the beginning of the movie, and our main character, our main girl here, Natalie, who is played by Amy Forsyth, is returning home to visit her best friend Brooke.
yes,
And Brooke still lives in their old apartment, and she knocks on the door and gives her a big hug, and then she notices that there's another girl there by the name of Taylor that Natalie does not like, and actually Taylor does not like her.
yeah, and I mean
So,
it's fair. Taylor is obnoxious.
mhm,
I think it's kind of fun because normally the character with these kind of personality traits would be a dude in these
mhm,
movies. Like she's overly horny, she's just obnoxious in your face. And so the fact that they kind of gender swap that I think is sort of fun. But it doesn't change the fact that this character is still an obnoxious character.
right, right. And all of the friends don't expect Natalie to show up.
Yeah, clearly the friend that doesn't show up when invited. So
Right. Yeah.
whenever she does, it's
And
a big event.
she's been distant because of school and work issues and all of these different things. So she shows up, and so all of her friends, they've decided they want to go to this amusement attraction called Hellfest. Here's my
Yep.
problem with this, and we'll, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's supposed to be, they introduce it as a traveling
Yeah.
haunt that travels across the country. This thing is too big to travel. This is a permanent park. It's not going anywhere. There's too many
Yeah.
buildings. There's too many. It's just, so that's just one thing that kind of stayed on my mind as I'm going through this movie and I'm seeing all of the different attractions, all of the different scenes. I'm thinking, could they actually, fold this up onto a truck? And it's like, no, the more you get into it, the more you realize they shouldn't have said it was a traveling thing. I mean, I know why they did it, just to create this lore, but
Right. So, I mean, I get it.
it's
They kind of had to have it be traveling, but if that was the case, make it a little less cool, maybe.
right,
Because, like,
right.
it's like all the decorations and even the set, it's all borrowed from Six Flag over Georgia's Fright Fest. So, I mean, which is permanent. So there's
Yeah,
the reason
it's
why it feels permanent because it's not a place that just moves around. They talk about how a character Gavin, who is her and him and Natalie kind of had an off again, on again, will they, won't they kind of relationship in the past. So everyone's kind of like hamming that up, being like, Gavin's going to be there. And Gavin's the one who scored all these tickets for them because it's also an event that's almost impossible to get tickets for. It's basically Taylor Swift's Eras Tour
right.
for Halloween. And but he managed to score tickets and he managed to score like VIP stuff so they don't have to wait in lines. So it's like a big deal that Gavin was able to set this all up for him.
Yeah. So they all get together and they go to this park, and the other has also arrived, and he actually comes through and he sets off the metal detector because he's wearing steel-toed boots.
Yep.
So they take the wand, security does, and they go over him and they find that he's clean. He just has the steel toe boots, so they don't check him. And he doesn't have a weapon.
No,
He'll
he doesn't.
snag one.
Yeah, he gets in legitly. He's
Mhm,
clearly bought a ticket. And I like how he shows up. They're just like following him from behind. You watch him just walk in, and he just is this normal dude.
mhm.
And just but how he walks is still very intimidating. And I just like the whole introduction of him. I think is great.
They really wanted to make him, the director and the producers wanted to make this character just an everyday Joe because it's scarier. It's not like it's a monster or anything like that. It's a real person, just like it could be anybody. And
Yeah,
so it makes him scarier and makes him stand out. And yeah, he's very creepy.
yeah. It reminded me of this book, which this movie did come out first. So I guess maybe the book copied it. But it was called The Thicket, and it was about a attraction, and one of the workers in it is a killer, and so he would kill some people like every few years. And in that he was just a normal dude, and like they would even have scenes with him interacting with people outside of like the work, and he's just like everyone loves him. He's like super helpful with his neighbors. So the fact that he's just a normal guy out there, but he has this side that switches, I think is infinitely more creepy.
Yeah, definitely. So there's this girl in the park who is not part of the friend group. She's just another girl that's there with her own friends. And she's being very rude to one of the workers. And they're at the attraction. And then she bumps into the other and starts to say some things to him. And you probably shouldn't be unfriendly to this other because
Yeah.
she's now marked.
Yeah, that's kind of that implies one of his triggers is people being rude to workers, which I mean I'm down for that. That's fine.
Sure.
But I think at this point he did, because he brought his own mask in, and I think he's now wearing it. So then when she bumps into him, she thinks he's just another scare actor, and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like,
Right.
and then
Right.
storms off. And so then he just, you can like see it in his body movement, like, all right, you're fucking dead now. And he just starts following her, and he's walking past this, I think it's a snow
It's
cone.
like a food, snow
hut.
cone vendor something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the workers like smashing some ice with this ice pick. The worker puts it down, and that's what he snags on his way by. And so now he is armed.
That's pretty slick that he doesn't
Yeah.
come in armed. He finds his own weapon as he's prowling through the park.
I mean, that's the thing. You would be able to find it because there's restaurants. The restaurants need knives. They need all these kind of stuff. So totally doable to get in without one and still do some damage once in.
Right. So Natalie, Brooke, and Taylor go into one of these maze rooms, and there's a ton of these maze attractions. And they're like any haunt you would go to, where you have jump scares, you have actors, jumping out of the shadows and out of places, and they're in there, and they get to this one room, and Brittany, who was the girl who pissed off the other just a little bit ago, comes screaming into the room, saying, help me, and they think it's part of the attraction. Who wouldn't? I mean,
right. Well, like they're even like before she runs in, they're kind of dissecting the art of the scare. They're like, okay, someone's going to jump out over here. And she does. She jumps out right there, and they're like, see, this is how it goes. And then they kind of get a little bit weirded out the more things go on, especially when the other now enters the room and starts stalking, looking for the other girl who is now hidden. And they're still thinking it's just part of the act because they're like, she's under the little arrow room. That's where she's at. They just sell this girl out unknowingly. And so, he goes and grabs her. The other two, Taylor and Brooke, they just move along their way. But Natalie stays behind, and the other now has this character, and he's got the knife, just like the ice picks, like right above her, and just staring her down. And Natalie's kind of just like, what are you waiting for? And so I guess that's his like, okay to go ahead and stab. So he stabs her, and she kind of's like,
it looks a little
bit real.
Yeah.
But like this is why it's such a perfect place for someone to do this, because you would just write it off as it's just part of the show.
Yep.
Even if it's like, you're like, nah, I'm just being weird. It's just a part of the show. And so she kind of chalks it up to that. Still's a little bit like, I don't know about this. And she leaves, and she's really getting weirded out when she looks behind, and she now sees the other just staring at her from the exit.
Right. Yeah. So she rejoins Brooke and Taylor, and he actually follows her out, and he does one of these.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
Don't tell on me. Yeah.
Don't you dare.
And
so it doesn't help, though, that like as soon as they exit, they see another situation where an actor stabs a guest.
Yeah. Right.
This one's definitely more playful. So, I mean, that just adds to the thought process of, I'm just being ridiculous. It's fine.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
But it's really not.
It's not.
So they keep seeing the other Natalie keeps spotting him, and she's getting really creeped out and paranoid now. And the others just think she's overreacting, that it's just somebody who's going for employee of the month, trying
Yeah,
to, be the scariest actor there.
they're just going above and beyond for their employer.
Right. And then Natalie and Gavin decide to go into a photo booth.
Yeah.
And so they get in
And
there and
they get in and they're like, I guess they're officially on because they start making out, having a great time in the photo booth. And then the other saw them go in. He walks up to the photo booth, jacks their pictures that have printed, and then kind of just takes off. Brooke does notice that though, and she's just like, "Hey, get back here!" And she tries to like
Mhm.
chase him down, and I think she just ends up losing him. But
well, yeah, they go into this room and she can hear him whistling that
oh, that's
that
right.
that tune, and it's getting
Mm-hmm.
quieter as he's walking away, and then she ends up just getting freaked and
That's
goes
right.
back out and rejoins her friends. So, yeah. So they assume he's gone, and that's that. Um And earlier, Gavin was trying to win Natalie a teddy bear with the ring toss attraction, and he's
Yep.
terrible. He's just terrible at it.
Well, everyone's terrible at carnival games. Like they're
Yeah.
notoriously difficult to win.
Well, sure they are. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
But even the carnival worker is like, "You're really bad. This is just embarrassing." So they're getting ready to go to the most extreme part of the park, which is what they've really been looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the section where the actors can actually touch you. So it's
Yeah.
a lot different from the rest of the park.
What's it called?
And
The dead zone or something like that?
the dead
The
something, I can't,
outside zoners? I don't know.
something, yeah,
Yeah, it's got a little name.
it does. But Gavin decides he wants to stay behind because he's going to go back and try and convince that worker to just give him a teddy bear that he can now give to Natalie. So they're
Right.
getting in line for this other attraction. You have to get onto this ride that
It's actually
actually
kind of cool
transports you. Yeah, that is cool.
because it's like a haunted house ride.
Yeah.
So you're
It's like
like,
the Haunted Mansion almost,
yeah,
the
like
way
it's a
the
ride
cars
through
are.
thing. Yeah, it's a ride through, and then I guess the end point is this other part of the park.
Right.
So
Which is not a traveling park, by the way. We'll say
exactly,
that again.
exactly.
So he goes back to that booth, the ring toss booth, and he's saying, "Dude, I dropped like $50. Can I please can you just give me the teddy bear for my girl?" And he's like, "Yeah, no." Real smart ass to him.
Dude,
And
what
so
a
he's like,
douche.
"Thank you," and walks off.
And then
And
he notices like behind the scene, he sees like a bag of them or like somewhere behind the scenes. So he's like, oh, okay. So he decides he's just going to go steal one.
he overhears another worker yelling to another worker, "Yeah, there's tons more of these in the locker room," or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's
And
what
then
it
he
is.
goes into this room and it's just nonstop lockers, and it's all of these stuffed animals are pretty freaky looking. They're not like teddy
Yeah, they're
bears. Are
kind
like
of
there's a
like,
scarecrow-ish type
yeah, like some
dolls.
of them look like little like voodoo dolls almost. They're fun.
Mm-hmm.
But he ends up getting one, gets his hands on one. But then he also kind of finds the killer as well back
As soon as
there.
he closes the locker door, it reveals the other standing right there.
Yeah.
And this was painful to watch because he's got one of those giant mallets when you try and ring the bell with that, that carnival attraction,
Yeah,
and
like
you
the
swing and
strong
strong.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And he frickin' crushes his sternum with the first blow, and he
Yeah,
goes to the
he
ground. You can
hits him
tell
with
he
like the
can't.
pole section. He
Yeah.
just jabs him like right
Yeah.
in the throat twice.
Yeah. It's
And
bad.
then yeah, no, it would not be
Ugh.
a pleasant situation. And he's
Yeah.
kind of just like, yeah, on the ground, like crawling backwards to get away. And
Yeah.
his head ends up on that bell ringing thing. And
Yep.
I'm sure you can see where it's going. The other then squishes his head like a watermelon.
And it rings the bell, actually.
Yeah, it's like a Gallagher show.
Yeah, it really is.
Who thought a
Totally.
Gallagher reference would be in this podcast?
Yeah, no doubt. Deadlands is the name of that other part of the park.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
And this is the park's most extreme area. And it's creepy because the workers actually wear the same mask as the others, which I found interesting.
And outfit. So I think he's got to have had some sort of inside, like maybe we don't know much about this guy, but maybe he does work here,
right?
And
maybe
we don't know. But so Natalie and the group, they're on this attraction now, and Natalie does have to ride alone because it's just 2 people per car.
And Gavin obviously
since
didn't
Gavin's
show up.
not here,
yeah,
slacking and behind, she is now alone. So she's on this ride and it stops, and the Tony Todd is on the airwaves being like, just remain calm, the ride will move in momentarily. But she sees this guy with the mask and the same fit just standing there, and she's freaking out. He's coming closer, and eventually he's right there on top of her, and then it cuts to outside the ride with the other friends, and then you see the car just roll in, and the guy's just like perched on the front of it, like a little owl or something.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine.
Right.
And that's there's like 20 other ones, or then just there circling them, and it's like, okay, it's just all part of the fun.
So
but I do love that how he's just perched.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, like looking down at her in the car, and she's like got her head, she's like hiding
she's
away,
freaking out.
Yeah,
valid.
Yeah,
but no, it's great.
So
you can
now
tell
you start
there's like, oh, these actors are silly gooses deep down.
Well, that's just it. That's what they think now because there's so many of them now. They're not. Even Natalie's like, okay, maybe I was overreacting a little bit. So yeah,
I do think even I would at that point be like, okay, it's fine. I would justify it, and I'm definitely more skeptical than most horror characters.
I think it's important to note also that after Gavin is killed, because they're still texting him trying to find out where he is, and so Natalie texts him, and he hears the phone go off in Gavin's jeans, and he pulls the phone out. So he now has Gavin's phone. He reaches down, picks up Gavin's hand for the fingerprint to unlock the phone. Now he's got the unlocked phone. So important to remember that. As
Good thing it wasn't a facial recognition thing, because he would have been out of luck.
There'd be nothing to recognize.
There's no face.
Nada.
You just like hear him be like, oh, darn it.
Yeah.
I should have killed him some other way.
So they split up into different mazes now here in the Deadlands. And yeah, it's crazy. There are actors that are touching them. In fact, there's one actor that comes up to Taylor, picks her up, flings her over his shoulder, and runs off. And her boyfriend's like, hey, I'm going to need her back sometime. And just she's like pissed. And she comes running back later. She goes, dude, he smelled like hobo ass. And they're like, well, how do you know what hobo ass smells like? So
Taylor knows. She's been
Taylor knows. Taylor knows. So a lot of chaos and confusion. They do get into these mazes, these separate mazes, and they figure out the trick to these mazes. They're triggered by these lasers that are like on the ground level. When you step through it, then it opens a door and an animatronic comes out or whatever happens. So they start, as we get deeper into the movie, they start stepping over them, not to so they don't attract attention and they don't get, scared by these other things there.
Which is kind of a fun aspect of it's like they're just like getting smarter to their environment, which I mean, they're probably going to need at the end. So I do like that we get that of how they're figuring everything out and how they're going to be able to use their environment to their advantage. So I think that's smart that they included these little moments with the characters.
Right. So Natalie has a close encounter with the other. Asher does too, but Asher isn't so lucky. And this is a pretty brutal kill.
Right, because so they get separated. There's like a path where it's like the scarier version and then like a safer version. And Natalie is the only one that gets down that path. And she ends up in this room where there's a two-sided mirror.
Hmm.
And she sees the other on the other side, and he's like pounding on the glass. But she's able to get out, and so she's like again just having these interactions with this guy, and just the doubt. But then like the internal battle is just waging with whether or not she's gonna freak the fuck out.
Right. Right.
But Asher,
Exactly.
yeah, he
Oof.
doesn't get so lucky
No. Asher gets impaled through the eyeball
with
with
a
this
syringe.
syringe. And it's pretty gruesome to see. He is kill number 4. So we go
Yeah,
down a list of friends.
the guy, he like gets him pinned down, and you see it, and it's just so gradual because he's fighting, trying to keep the needle out of his eye, and then you see it just go in, and then you
Right.
see the other just like shove it all the way in,
Mm.
and that's the death blow. I don't like eye stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. So that is
Yeah,
the unlucky demise of Asher. And
which
then
is
later,
fine because he was
Natalie,
kind of annoying
he was kind of annoying. Yeah,
because he
definitely.
was Taylor's boyfriend, and so
Yeah,
together they're just the
man,
worst.
perfect couple.
They were, yeah, no, they are. They go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, totally. So Natalie and Brooke end up going into the ladies' room, and they
Yep.
reconnect, and they have these conversations, and Brooke leaves, and Natalie doesn't. She wants to, well, because she's cleaning up, because they had this
'Cause-
actor in this costume that fake regurgitated all over her, and
yeah,
who knows what it was.
he blew
So
like
that's why they went.
slime all over her.
Yeah. So that's why they went into the bathroom, so that Natalie could clean up. And so she's, yeah.
And this is something that like maybe it's common. I have never seen it in my life, but the hand dryer
Hmm.
being like 6 feet in the air, because
It
that's
was
what
pretty
she's
high up
using
there.
to, yeah, that's what she's using to dry her hair. And I'm like, maybe that's a common thing in ladies' restrooms, but that seems it seemed weird to me. I was looking at it like, what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah. That was kind of strange too, that it was so high up, but
Yeah,
they had to have it for the movie. So let's put it up so we can have Natalie
yeah,
dry her
it's
hair.
fine. And
It's
then
fine.
after, yeah, it's fine, I guess.
Well, and
And
as
then
she's
after,
drying her hair, you see him, and she's got her eyes
yeah,
closed, and she's looking away. And he, the other, is standing right there, and he reaches out like he's going to touch her hair and face. And then, like at the last minute, he just pulls back,
and
and then she
disappears.
pulls her head out, and then he's, yeah, totally disappeared.
And
Yeah.
then she decides it's time for a to to go take a pee. And so now
Hmm.
she's in the stall texting with who she thinks is Gavin, and she
Right.
shoots off a message, and she hears the ping,
Yeah.
but she doesn't think too much of it. She's just like,
Right.
whatever. So then he texts her back. She shoots off another text, and then she hears the ping again, really close. And that's when she looks down and sees the boots underneath, right outside the stall. And she does recognize, because one of his boots has a little tear on the tip,
Hmm.
and she
Yep.
sees that, and she's like, oh, fuck.
Well, and the
And
messages that were going back and forth, she texted him and said, "Are you close?" And he said, "Yes." That was the first
uh
one. And then she said, "How close?" Smiley face. And he's like, "Very close."
yep. And
Yeah.
then he starts just like pounding on the door, and so
Hmm.
she does the whole like, this happens in too many horror movies, and it's always so disgusting to me. She starts crawling
Yes.
along the bathroom floor, just
Yes.
trying to get out of the stalls. She makes it to a different one, and she's kind of just like crouched down on top of the toilet, and then you see him reach from the other stall over and just grabs her hair. um and she does manage to get away, but ugh,
Right.
now
Yeah.
she really needs a shower.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So she gets back out, and she tells her friends, the ones that are left, what's going on. So they alert security,
Mhm.
and the guard,
This
I
guy's
mean,
such a douche. Like,
he's
I
a
get
douche,
it.
but yeah, I get
I
it
get
too.
it. Because he's like, well, he's not here. And they're like, okay, but he was. He's like, okay, well, he's not. Like, what do you expect me to do? he's in a mask. Like what are we supposed to do here? It's like you do get where he's coming from, but he is just brushing it off completely. He's like, well, did he hurt you? Like, no, technically no. Okay, well, go have fun.
So they end up going back out and they find their friends
Fucking
and
Taylor.
oh my God. So that's the thing. Natalie's asking, where's Taylor? And they're like, oh, well, she volunteered. And they're standing in front of this stage. And this is where we get to see Tony Todd. The only time we get to see him in the movie. Comes out as a carnival barker. And she's volunteered to go into this guillotine attraction and have her head chopped off. And so they get her into the guillotine and make this big deal out of it. But then Natalie realizes that the guy who's going to drop the blade is the other. He's standing there. And so she thinks, oh my God, this is really going to happen. So she rushes the stage and gets caught up by a couple of security guards who won't let her pass, obviously.
Yeah. So. And she's like, she's going to die. He's going to kill her. And they're like, yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, just chill out. And so the guillotine falls, her head rolls off. Tony Todd picks it up, and it's a fake head.
Yeah.
It's very much like, do you ever see Alice Cooper live?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He does the same bit. Yeah. He does this exact same bit. Yeah. So she sees everything's fine. She's like, okay, sorry for being kind of crazy there. My bad.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
She's really building a repertoire with the security team at Fear Fest.
Right.
But she was onto something because now the curtains are up and Taylor is now alone with the executioner. And she's like, okay, let me up. And he doesn't. He just kind of staring at her.
And she's apologizing for her friend who was rushed the stage. She's like, she's just freaking out. Don't worry.
Sorry, my friend was so uncool about this whole situation. She's lame. But this one worker does come out. He's like, okay, you're going to get her out. And the executioner's just like,
yeah, without a word, just nods.
I'll take care of her. Don't worry about it. So she starts panicking because he's not letting her out. And he's, in fact, raising the blade back up. And this one actually hurt me more than I think anything else. And I don't know why, because it's not terrible, but she's stuck there and the blade goes down and it just like smacks the back of her just neck. And it doesn't chop her head off because it's obviously not a real guillotine. But it does cut about maybe an inch or inch and a half into her neck. And I don't know why
that much. I don't think it's even that much. I think it didn't.
Maybe a couple centimeters or something. But
because he walks around and he lifts it up and he runs his finger over the blade and realizes that it's not very sharp. It's just this. It's
So then he does start he cranks it up again further, and so he's like, all right, I'm just gonna have to supercharge this bad boy. But Taylor does manage to get out of her little restraints, and then when he looks down, she's gone and freaking out and trying to find the others to tell her I guess maybe Natalie isn't as crazy as we all thought, because this dude tried to kill me. And I don't know, how far does she get?
Not very far.
Yeah.
So she runs out and the crowd is, they're aware that something isn't quite right, but they're not panicked yet. But she runs into this other group of people and they shove her away right into the other who's right behind her. And that's when he slashes her and kills her. That's number 5. And then the crowd and the security realize, whoa, something's not right.
Yeah. And now the park goes into lockdown. It's everyone's admitting, okay, fuck, we have a situation here. Everyone leave. Security's kind of swarming the place, and now things are going to get interesting. Now we enter Act 3.
This kill with Taylor is kind of a 1-2 punch because Quinn comes running up to try and save her, and he immediately gets stabbed. So she gets slashed, and then he turns around, and there's Quinn, and he just stabs him, and that's it. So it's just Brooke and Natalie. They're the only ones left out of the friend group here. So,
Yep, down to the final 2.
so they end up trapped inside the final maze, Hell.
Hell, which is the
And
scariest
oh, yeah,
maze in the park.
yep. And the other is now armed with an axe.
Yep.
And these are bad weapons.
Axes aren't good.
They're not. And so you got all these effects going on. And this is where they're stepping over those lasers that are on
Yep.
the laser beams to not trigger any of the events here.
So they're able to hide
And
more efficiently, and
yeah,
it's pretty cool. But you also
yeah,
see the cops now starting to go into to hell.
mm-hmm, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, cops are there now, and things are just shit is getting real. So they have an encounter with him. I mean, they do this little cat and mouse game. He actually swipes Brooke's leg with the
Yep.
axe and
He
wounds her
tags her a
pretty
little bit.
seriously. Yeah.
And then
But
Natalie makes her way into this like room that's got a whole bunch of this like kind of blank white faces
their
everywhere.
masks.
Yeah, so she hides behind one, and you see like the killer looking around trying to find her. He then thinks he finds her, like hits this mannequin with the axe, and he's then struggling to get the axe back out, and that is when Natalie comes out of her hiding place, and she then does stab the killer, but doesn't
Yeah.
kill him.
No, it doesn't kill him. And well, she beats the crap out of him with something, and he goes down.
Okay,
And then
this part bugs me because she hits him with like it's a mannequin arm,
yeah,
and it
something like
doesn't
that.
seem very heavy,
No,
but he's acting like he's getting beat to death with like an axe.
right.
And but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Right.
It's movie
So
magic.
yeah, they fight back. They do end up stabbing him, and then they're able to reach the exit just as police are coming into where they are, and they usher them out. They get them out, and two of the cops are going down this hallway, the hallway where he had been stabbed, and
Right.
all you see is this pool of blood on the floor, but you don't see him. The other has now disappeared.
Yep. And so the officers then kind of get together with Natalie and Brooke and inform them that they did not find him.
But we will.
We do. Yeah, we know where he's at now because
we'll find him.
yeah, we get to see him go back home, and he goes
Mhm.
to his little man shed, and we see that, oh, this is where he keeps all of his masks that he uses in his nights out. And so he adds this one to his little collection, and then he
Plus
goes,
all of the victims' mementos
yeah,
too, because he's
yes,
got the pictures of
yep,
Gavin and Natalie that from the photo booth, and he puts them underneath that mask. Yeah.
yep. So he adds them to the little shrine, and then he walks into the living room, and we see a
Mhm.
little girl sleeping there. She wakes up and she greets him as Daddy, and
Mhm.
then he gives his daughter one of the stuffed animals from the park, and that's that. That is the credits start rolling, and I love that little reveal where it's just like he's a dad,
Yep.
he's a member of the community,
Yeah.
he's raising the future, and we
Well,
don't know who he is.
and that's what I said earlier, that he's just anybody. He could have been anybody, and that's what makes him so scary, you know.
Like imagine
So
like he's the dad at the school PTA meetings. Like that's crazy to think about.
right, right. Final kill count was 6. Favorite character for me was actually the obnoxious Taylor.
You like Taylor?
Obnoxiously fun, yes.
Yeah, I think mine was probably Natalie. I just kind of like
Okay,
that like little awkward friend that is kind of a stick in the mud.
right. Um, Favorite kill for me was definitely Gavin's. I thought that was pretty brutal.
Yeah. No, it's definitely Gavin. That's the highlight of the kills for sure.
Right. Um, Star grade, I give it 4.5.
I think I'm gonna give it like 4. It's good. It's a really solid slasher. I like it.
Yeah.
It kind of bums me
Final,
out because originally they were gonna have this be like a yearly like movie series, kind of like Saw, where every
Oh,
October they release one, and they were going to
right,
have a Hellfest every single year, and I think it would have worked out great, but for whatever reason, it just didn't end up happening.
right, right. Final girl score for Natalie, I give her a 10 with all the bullshit she had to go through from being stalked to everything else.
Yeah,
So, and the
she's
fact
really
that
solid. Like, as far as she's just like doesn't feel as iconic as maybe some other ones,
Mhm.
but I'm not gonna let that sway me. I'm gonna give her like pretty high. I'm gonna go like 8.5. I'll do
Okay.
8.5.
The killer score, could we survive or not? What do you think, Michael?
So not, and I'm not gonna say this because I'm tough. I do think I could easily survive because I am not a douche to workers. I'm always like super extra friendly, so I would
Yeah.
never catch this guy's attention.
See, I think that's the key here. If you were nice to him, you're fine. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about him chasing you down with a sledgehammer or a knife or whatever. So, yeah.
Because even Natalie does, she makes that comment because she's just kind of like doesn't really want to be there. So like when she sees him, like she does say something to the effect of like, "What's your deal?" Or like she makes some very small comment that then marks her for the rest of the movie. So I would not be making those comments, and I would be safe to go about my night.
Yeah, definitely. All right, your slasher survival tip for Hellfest. If everyone else thinks it's part of the show, run anyway.
Yeah, trust those
I think
instincts.
I think so. I think so. Coming up, we have your scare preview, but first, shout out to our girl Courtney from Jaunty Haunts, the supernatural podcast that we love to listen to every week. She is now in her second season, and she has been to Sleepy Hollow a couple of times, and man, I'm so jealous. We're going to talk to her.
Same.
I think in November, we're going to talk to her. We're going to have her on. We're going to do Sleepy Hollow, and she can kind of tell us her real life experiences visiting that haunted town. But anyway,
Hell yeah.
check out Jaunty Haunt. She's always got great guests. And your wife, Hannah, was on there for a couple of episodes, and she
Yep.
was great. But yeah,
Yep.
just a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, check out the podcast. She recently did an episode about banshees, which was fun. So
Oh, nice.
check it out. Yeah.
The Scare Preview.
All right, scare preview time, Michael. And what is on your list of fun movies?
So I'm excited about 28 Years Later, the sequel to 28 Years Later. It's The Bone Temple. This one's coming out January 16th, so not too far away. One of the first horror movies of the next year. And we've got Cillian Murphy making his return to the franchise in this one. And it looks like it's picking up right at the end of the other one. It's not going to be like 28 days to 28 months or weeks, whatever. It's just going to be right at the end of the last one into this one. So I'm kind of
Right.
excited to see this kind of story continue. And I like the franchise. I do think it's a little bit overrated, but I still enjoy it. So I'm going to see it through. So yeah. And I'm excited about Cillian Murphy. So love
Yeah,
him.
that sounds like that's going to be a great film. I am looking forward to Send Help. This is the new one, directed by Sam Raimi. And it also stars some incredible actors. Rachel McAdams is in this. Dennis
Love her.
Haysbert is in this. Dylan O'Brien. And it's about Linda Little, Rachel McAdams' character, and Bradley Preston. They are two colleagues who find themselves stranded on a deserted island after they are the only survivors of a plane crash, and they have to overcome past grievances and work together to survive. Becomes an unsettling and darkly humorous battle of wills and wits to make it out alive. And it is in post-production right now, and they are slating it for a January 30th release. But
Do you see the trailer?
I did see the trailer, yeah.
The trailer looks fun. Like, she's stuck on this island with like her boss, and her boss is kind of an asshole. So that dynamic is going to be fun.
Right.
And she
Should
kind
be
of
a
plays
lot of
like a little bit of like the greasy kind of like dorky person, which is kind of weird for Rachel McAdams because she's incredibly attractive.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so them trying to like dingy her up, you're like, she's
Yeah.
still gorgeous. Like, come
Oh,
on.
yeah, totally. Well, that wraps it up for episode 37, Hellfest. And next week, we'll be doing the Halloween anthology film, Trick or Treat.
Yes, not Trick or
No, Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat. It's like a pirate.
It is like a pirate, isn't it?
Trick or.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to us, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Tell all your friends about us. Don't forget the video version of this podcast is on YouTube. Hopefully it's on Spotify again. They've taken us down because they claim we're using copyrighted material, which we're not, because we own the licenses to use the music and the sound effects in this. So we're hoping this gets cleared up. And so if you are watching this on Spotify, thank God.
Yeah, well, that means we won.
That means we won. I think we're going to win
our battle.
We're going to win. It's just we have to wait now until they actually do something about it. The appeal is in. So, but anyway, we are on YouTube, so you can see the video version there. Yeah, YouTube, they don't have a problem with us. So
they don't. We also have, like, if you only like the audio version is on there too. We have both. So.
Yeah, we're out there, so you can still find us, and eventually, hopefully, soon we'll be back on Spotify. So that's it. Anything else, Michael?
No, I think that's
is that it?
Kind of covers all my thoughts on the movie.
Perfect. Well, it was nice to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not,
being food poisoned. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not food poisoned. And it happened like that. We had my daughter's birthday party earlier that day. And so I probably ate too much sweets on top of it. It was probably just a mixture that wasn't good. I did eat like 4 cupcakes, mac and cheese, I did it to myself.
You did it to yourself. Well,
it was the consequences of my own actions.
Don't do that anymore.
I know. I got to get better at that.
You can also email us as well if you want to get in touch with us.
You sure can. openingkillpod@gmail.com.
All right. Well, we will talk to you again next week. Again, we'll be doing the movie Trick or Treat here on Opening Kill. See ya.
See ya.
Opening Kill is produced by Mystic Cloud Productions and hosted by Brian O'Connor and Michael Duran. New episodes drop every Thursday wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And don't forget, you can watch the video versions on Spotify and YouTube. See you next time. If you survive the opening kill.